my wife and I are driving home from the cottage. We see a bear across the road,
Right.
and not too far away, our son was going into meltdown mode. We had to stop.
Right.
So we're thinking, what if a freaking bear comes jumping out at us?
Right.
What do you do? If so I guess there's different scenarios. If you see a bear,
Right.
and maybe it hasn't seen you yet, what's the best thing to do?
Well, with black bears, the first thing that you have to remember with black bears, which is what we share our province with down here, is that they are naturally very fearful of people.
Okay.
So they have no desire to get in a confrontation with another big creature that they're intimidated by. So keeping that in mind, when you do see one and it hasn't seen you yet, you don't want to startle it, because it's sort of like you being startled by Bigfoot. It might not end well. You might start swinging big limbs at it or something. So
Yeah.
you want to make sure you know, or they know that you're there. So you want to make some noise and give them an opportunity to notice you so that they can make their escape, which is what normal black bears do, is they try to get away from us whenever given the chance. And we see quite a few of them on our property here at the Wildlife Centre, wild bears, and we only see them for a split second, and as soon as they see us coming, we see their rear end as they're running off into the forest. So that's natural black bear behavior.
Okay.
Now, the only time that gets a little bit messed up is when you get a bear that has been brought too close to people for too long. So in the case of a garbage dump bear. So if you have a bear that's grown up at a garbage dump and has seen people coming and going all day long with their cars dumping garbage off, that bear has over time lost its fear of people. So that bear is going to take a little more work to startle off. So you want to, if you come across a bear and it doesn't seem fearful of you right away, then you want to be the biggest, scariest human it's ever seen. So you want to make noise and you want to put your arms up and say, "Get out of here," and act aggressive.
Okay.
And that sends a message that you're not to be messed with. And
Okay.
then that bear will run off, too.
Now, I guess the other thing would be, let's say, you just find yourself in the middle of the bear and the bear cub.
Right. Now, that's an interesting one because clearly all mother creatures, all mother mammals, including humans, are very protective of their children. So if they feel like you are directly endangering their kids, they may feel it necessary to intervene. So if you do all of a sudden, say you're walking down a path, you come to a clearing, and on one side of the clearing is the cub, and on the other side is the mother bear, and everyone freezes for a minute. You're frozen, she's frozen, the cub's frozen, nobody knows what's going to happen next. Then what you have to do is just back away slowly and remove the threat.
Okay.
Mom's not going to risk her life if she doesn't think that you're going after her cub.
Okay.
So she's never going to turn and come after you and try to get you just because you're in the same area as her cub. But if you were started to motion towards her cub, then she's getting the message that you might be a predator of that cub.
Right.
Then she's going to have to intervene. So as long as you just back away slowly, and you always, with black bears, want to back away slowly. You never want to turn and run. Because if a black bear's never come into contact with a human before in the forest, and it sees its first human, and it doesn't know what that human is, and it says, "Oh, goodness, there's a new creature. Is it a predator? Is it prey? What is this thing?" And then you turn and hightail it out of there, you're behaving like a deer or a prey species. So you've just sent a message to that black bear that you're prey.
Your food.
Yeah, so that black bear, just like a kitten, can't help it but chase a string. If you take a string and dangle it in front of a kitten and pull it away, the kitten may not even want to chase it, but it just has to. Instinctually, it's just got to go for the string. It's a lot the same with other predatory animals. If you dangle something in front of them and then pull it away really quick and it thinks it's prey, well, it's going to run after it even if it doesn't necessarily know what it's going to do with it when it gets to it. So we have heard of cases where black bears have chased people, but always because the person has run.
Okay. So, and I guess the only other thing is, let's say, okay, you provoked a bear, you did everything wrong, now
Right.
the bear is coming at you.
Right.
What the heck do you do?
Well, what black bears will do, it's not sort of an on or off situation with bears. If they don't run off, if say you've cornered it and it doesn't think it has a way to get away, maybe there's some cliffs or something behind it where it doesn't feel like it's got a free path, or it's a garbage bear that's a little more brazen, and you've said, "I'm big," and you've backed away slowly and you've kept your arms up and you've done everything right, and the bear still thinks it has a chance of intimidating you because it's still feeling threatened, what it will do first is it will actually bluff you. So it will kind of jump down on the ground, sort of bluffing towards you.
Okay.
And it might even go "Buff," like that.
Okay.
And it's trying to scare you.
Oh, okay.
The same way you're trying to scare it. So
I
you
see.
just still want to hold your ground and you want to be the scariest. So if you
Okay.
see a bear bluff like that, You just got to make sure that he has a pathway to get away, so still back away, but be big and bold.
Okay.
Never act like prey.
Okay.
Because if it gets to the point where a bear is bluffing you, it's questioning whether you're tough.
Ah.
It's checking to see. Just the same way you are with it. So when you go, I'm a big person, and it sort of looks at you like, oh yeah, then it does it. Woof, woof, like, I'm a big bear. So you got to be bigger and bolder to send a message that you mean business.
Okay.
And black bear attacks are less common than, people get killed by black bears less often than people get killed by vending machines.
Okay. So
that's a real statistic. I don't know what the numbers are, but it's ridiculous. So
okay.
Black bears don't kill people. They just sometimes have a run-in with person if it's a bear that's weak or old, that can't catch its own food and it's starving to death and it's willing to take the risk of going after a creature that it would normally not go after, but it's so rare. They really just want to be left alone.
So if you're dumb enough to tip over a vending machine on you,
yes.
more than likely you will not survive a bear attack.
Exactly.
Okay. So the way to that, those are some great ways to survive. And okay,
right.
Let's say the bear is now mauling you.
Yes. If it's mauling you, you fight back.
Okay.
You still keep fighting.
Okay.
Because at that point, it is completely does not believe that you're tough at all, and it's going to hurt you. So you could just fight back as hard as you can. Go for the eyes. It does. The chance of that happening in your lifetime is so slim. But if it gets to that point, you want to fight back hard.